this other we're about to share with us. Huge main game. Okay, just getting this shared here. We are live in the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel studio. Be talking about GoPro Hero 5, among other things today. So it's going to be a good show. Just share it here. And if you're commenting, I was in the wrong, let's see. Okay, there we go. I was in the wrong window. John G, what's up? So, yeah, let's go ahead and share. You know, these shows, these live shows, they always start with sharing on social media, so we get a lot of people in. Be thinking of your questions. And we're just going to, today's focus is going to be the GoPro Hero 5. And I've got both the GoPro Hero 5 Black, the Hero 5 Session, and the GoPro Karma Grip for the Hero 5 Black. We're going to be discussing all that. So let's get this tweeted out here and on our other social media. And we're going to get started here. Let's see. You know, I haven't tested the Hero 5 Black touchscreen underwater yet. That's something that my expectations that it probably won't work, because I know when it was wet, you know, I washed it off in the sink and it didn't work well. Same with the Apple Watch Series 2, by the way. But I may be wrong, but I think it's probably going to fail to function if you try to use it underwater. Okay, just one more share here. Yeah, the fisheye is a killer. And the thing is, there's a linear mode where fisheye can somewhat be eliminated in the GoPro Hero 5 Black. But if you look at the linear mode, in 4K it doesn't exist. You got to bump down to 2.7K or lesser resolution to utilize linear mode. So unlike the DJI Phantom 4, that I film in 4K 30 and I don't get noticeable fisheye, I can't do that with the GoPro Karma. So that's, for me, that's a big disappointment. And I'm excited about the DJI Mavic, because my expectation with it is that I'll be able to get 4K 30 and not have to deal with fisheye as well. So that's, oh, we got a ton of people here. We got Michael, we got Anthony, Nate Sirag, Greg. Question coming in, is my Phantom 4 4K camera at the same quality as GoPro 5? Well, I'm going to answer this to the best of my abilities. And by the way, there's a video that I've actually uploaded a moment ago, and I'll be publishing tonight, where I take, this is the, right here, this is the GoPro Hero 5 Black, and then this is the GoPro Hero 5 Black, or the GoPro Karma Grip, which I have the gimbal on it. See, when I power this on, it's a gimbal now. So this is the GoPro Hero 5 Black. They're coming out with a, or they say they're coming out with a GoPro Hero 5 Session gimbal that'll work with this grip. But this grip's really nice, because you can see here you've got your GoPro style, well, not GoPro style, but actual GoPro mount. So you can put it on the front of a backpack, other type mounts that you may already own. And you can see how well this gimbal works. This is the most impressive thing that I've seen so far with the release of GoPro Karma and the GoPro Hero 5 cameras. This gimbal works really well. The disadvantage, well, the disappointing thing about this gimbal is that it's currently to my knowledge, it's not available by itself. It's only available as part of the GoPro Karma drone bundle, which I got here, which has been recalled, which I can't fly. It's a brick. And I will be sending it back. But before I send it back, I want to play with the Karma grip. And you'll see you've probably already seen a few videos on my channel. Yeah, I'm returning my Karma because of the recall. It's unsafe to fly, and actually the firmware update disabled it. So even if someone wanted to try to fly it after updating the firmware, it should fail to fly. And I wouldn't fly it anyway after the recall because it's unsafe. I mean, if it fell from the sky, I would be in a wide open and empty location. It wouldn't hurt anything but the drone, but it's just not worth it. But this Karma grip is really, really cool. And y'all were asking about image quality. You're asking about the image quality of the GoPro Hero 5. So actually, I want to take that answer a step further and talk about the GoPro Hero 5 Session, the GoPro Hero 5 Black, and then also the DJI Phantom 4 camera and the Osmo. I want to compare all of this, and I will say, and this is what I want y'all's feedback for, the video I'm going to publish tonight. It's where I have this camera, the Hero 5. Whoa, don't type. Yeah, where I have the, I think Sean Coonery's got something he wants to say. He said the Hero 5 Session is smaller. It is. And the Hero 5 Black. Let's take it off of the grip. So to power down the grip, you just push this down. What's cool about the Karma grip, it also keeps your GoPro topped off. This has a battery inside of it, so it's really nice. Firmware did not kill the Karma grip though, so keep in mind that it killed the Karma. Actually, and I'll show y'all before we segue into the camera conversation. So this right here is the Karma controller. So now that I've updated the firmware, what you're going to see is this is going to power up. You see, I don't know how well you can see it. This is 1080p live broadcast. But it says GoPro, and then you think it's going to come on. It says Karma. And then it says, oh, and speaking of the Mavic, actually in chat with us right now, you'll see Michael Kincaid. Check out his Mavic videos for an honest representation of how well the Mavic performs. He's got a ton of those videos out already. So check out his channel, Michael Kincaid. You can see him here in our live chat. Check out his YouTube channel for Mavic videos. So this message comes up. It says, Karma recall and return information. Due to a performance issue related to loss of power during operation, we have recalled all Karma drones. We are asking all customers to return Karma for a full refund. They don't say anything about when and if they're going to ship a working replacement. They're just giving you a refund is what it says. It says, we are very sorry for this inconvenience and promise to make the return and refund process as easy as possible. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. What I really liked was the last part. It says, once your complete return has been processed and refund issued, we will send you a Hero 5 Black as a thank you. Again, this is what was in the message in the Karma. This is not me saying this. This is a message that I received on my GoPro Karma controller after updating the firmware after the recall. So what I was doing, and obviously updated the firmware because I wanted to do tutorials indoors. I would not fly the Karma after it being recalled, even though I'm in a safe and responsible location. I wouldn't fly it just out of principle. But I would keep it on my desk, and I would keep the propellers off, and I would play around with the various functionality and do that sort of thing. But this totally bricked that. So now, the Karma drone
powering off,
and the Karma controller, it's remaining powered off until I ship it back because it's of no use for me. But back to the Karma grip that came with the Karma bundle, this thing is really cool. And I'm kind of on the fence with the Karma grip because having used the Osmo, and the Osmo experience is very similar to a DJI Phantom experience. Very intuitive, and you even use the same app, the same DJI app for that. So it's really cool. This is different from the perspective. You don't have the screen out to the side. You don't have your tablet or your smartphone or your iPod Touch. So to verify the alignment of the camera, you're looking at this tiny little display on the back of the Hero 5 Black. That's not a problem once you get used to using this, because ultimately you'll be pointing it and you'll know what's in the camera's field of view. But initially it may not feel as nice as the Osmo. But looking at the I agree, they should let you keep the grip and the gimbal, and I don't know. But the fact that they claim in that message that they're going to have a Hero 5 Black, I think that's pretty cool. But I'm with you. I like this grip and this gimbal. I mean, this is nice. This is very well designed. I think they ran into an unfortunate issue with the recall. And I'm not saying it didn't happen, because you can look on the internet and there's several videos that seem to be authentic of that thing crashing to the ground. But actually, I think what GoPro did, the way they handled it, the fact that they recalled it and they disabled the drones by way of firmware, I think that's smart. Because the last thing we want with drones, becoming better perceived, the last thing we want is to take a step backwards and have some sort of incident occur because of a drone that was malfunctioning, and potentially put the hobby in jeopardy for everyone. So we don't want that. Do you think Karma's controller is good? In my opinion, it's kind of cheap built. Yeah, actually so looking at the Karma controller, I think it feels like a video game controller, and it feels solid to me, and I like how it's kind of rubberized on the side. The gimbal wheel feels good. Stop and start recording. I think it's very nice. And it's, what it doesn't have, obviously, when you're comparing it to like a Phantom 4 or a Phantom 3 Pro or a DJI Mavic, you're not going to get that range. I mean, obviously, to be safe and responsible, we fly line of sight, but you're not going to get that range with this. I think it's kind of it feels good, but I would say, in my opinion, the DJI, and I haven't received my Mavic yet, but the DJI Phantom 4 controller and Phantom 3 Pro controller, that seems like a more professional controller. But from a tactile feel perspective, I would go as far as to say this feels better. But again, I feel that the Phantom 4 and Phantom 3 Pro controller is more professional, not just due to the range, but the proprietary technology that DJI uses called Lightbridge to communicate. I think it's I don't know. But again, I look at this, the Karma and the Karma controller is something that's, I did the initial field test before it was recalled. I enjoyed the experience, but it's going to be hard to develop a more in-depth opinion of this until they resolve this recall issue and get functional Karma drones to the market. And will they get them to the market? I mean, is this going to kill GoPro? I mean, I don't know. I hope not. But I think, I wouldn't go as far as to say the Karma's crap. I think the Karma, the way I look at the Karma, I look at it more as a mount for the GoPro. I mean, when you look at what you're getting with the Karma bundle, this right here is super nice. I mean, watch my videos. I've got more that I'm going to be posting that I filmed with the Karma grip. To have handheld performance, and there's one that I plan to get up tonight or tomorrow where I was jogging with it. Try jogging with an Osmo, and then try jogging with a Karma. And you're probably going to notice this just looks a lot more like it's flying, this Karma grip, as opposed to the Osmo. But from a drone perspective, I will say that DJI Phantom 3 Pro, DJI Phantom 4, they knocked the Karma in the dirt. Number one, they don't have fisheye. They don't have the stability issues. Something I noticed with the Karma is that, especially, and you can check out my first Karma field test video before it was recalled, where you can see Yeah, I'm reading all his comments. So you can see that when it's hovering, it doesn't have that tripod look like you get with a Phantom 3 Pro or a Phantom 4. There's a little bit of fluctuation even when it's hovering. And then obviously you get the fisheye unless you're using linear mode, and that means you're not filming in 4K. I think the GoPro camera, though, the Hero 5 Black especially, I think when you look at the image quality of it, it looks a lot sharper, in my opinion. But with that being said, the fisheye in 4K completely ruins it. I don't care how sharp it is. If I'm getting fisheye in 4K, it's of no value to me because I film everything in 4K. If you're doing 1080p, then, or maybe 2.7K, and you're publishing in 1080p, then maybe the camera will be fine for you with the fisheye. But I think I just think it's an interesting thing that we're seeing now, because inevitably we've never seen DJI react to a competitor's product like we did when Karma came out. And what was so funny, and what I really liked about DJI was they reacted in a way that a lot of people didn't expect. I mean, they waited for the what am I trying to say? They waited for GoPro to put out all of their stuff. You know, their little show on the, Nick Woodman came out and he showed off the Karma grip and the cameras and the Karma drone. And I think that it was it was just interesting to see them react, because they just quietly said, "Oh, you know what? That's great. You finally revealed your product publicly. Now here's what we've got, and it's so much better. It's smaller. It doesn't have fisheye. It's got longer range. It's got obstacle avoidance. It's perceived as a more safe option when it comes to drones because it has those features. So I mean, it's one of those things that I knew that DJI, they feared their first competition, but as soon as everything came out with Karma, and as soon as they responded with DJI Mavic, they still acknowledged zero competition. And it's, I want to see competition, because I think as we get more serious competitors in the drone space, I mean, DJI is kind of they do have a cool product. I love DJI, but I'm not married to DJI. So I mean, it's so cool to see such a cool product. The disheartening part is that with such a cool product, you've got one controlling entity. If they want to charge an arm and a leg for these drones, they can, because they're number one. If they want to provide poor customer service, they can, because they're number one. If they want to lock you into using a certain camera, they can, because they are number one. We don't see a GoPro mount option on any of the current model DJI drones, and that's for a reason, because they're now in the camera business, and they're doing a good job with it. I mean, they really are, and I attribute a lot of that because I think most of the DJI cameras are, I think they're using Sony-based sensors, and I'm a big Sony camera guy, so that's probably why I like the look. Someone says, we need an American drone company that is better than DJI. There's been a lot of people try to do it, and unfortunately, it seems that they failed. I mean, there's a lot of, if you go on, especially go on Kickstarter somewhere, you'll see a lot of little pop-up businesses. You got some of the bigger secondary tier brands that tried and they failed. I mean, DJI is going to take, mark my words, to dethrone DJI, what's going to happen? You're going to have to see somebody like Apple. There, you got it. Greg got it right there. Somebody like Apple is going to, now if Apple acquired DJI, it's over for everyone. But if someone like Apple acquired, let's say, GoPro's drone technology, Apple being a design company, Apple in theory could take this and they could turn it from a recalled brick into something that, number one, they'll likely charge a premium for it, and it'll likely be all proprietary things that you can mount to it. but it'll probably be smaller. It'll be better, and it'll probably be more well made. So, that's I think, and Greg, you're spot on, man. You're spot on. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to have somebody with a big budget, proven design skills to come in and really displace DJI. And I'm not saying I want to have DJI displaced. I'm just saying that competition is a good thing because it makes these technologies better, makes these technologies more affordable, and more people can enter the hobby because there's more options. And right now, to have a serious option, I mean, I'm not going to go out and say, and I don't want to say these drone names because I don't want to seem like I'm bashing them, but I mean, really, would I go out and say, yeah, I'm going to get into drones? What are you going to get? Bebop. I'm not going to go get a Bebop. It's software stabilized camera. I love the Bebop on paper. It was small. It was lightweight. It seemed to be great. But when I filmed with it and flew it, no. Get a loan from Donald Trump. That's funny. Let's see. I worry if Apple made it, loads of casual droners would get it, and I worry about the dangers of that thought. Well, that's the thing. Anytime, and it's not. It wouldn't just obviously wouldn't just be an Apple, but anytime something becomes hip and popular, you're going to see a lot of less than responsible people getting it in their hands. So, I think it's. I don't know. What do I think DJI is announcing tomorrow? As much as I hate to say it, I think it's probably going to be an Inspire 2, and I'm not a fan of the Inspire. It's too big. It's too heavy. Now, if they release an Inspire 2 that's smaller, maybe I'll like it, but why call it an Inspire? What I hope they release is a Phantom 4 Professional, or maybe a new series. Maybe they only put a number on it. They call it Phantom Professional or something like that. Something with a modular camera that's portable. Something that is around the same size of a Phantom, if not smaller. Maybe between Phantom and Mavic, but offers a modular camera option. Because I know the modular camera option is going to become something that's super important. Now, from a business perspective, we know why DJI is probably trying to stay away from that model, because they want people to use the current model Phantom or the current model Mavic, and a few months later or a year later, buy the latest and greatest drone. Because to get the latest and greatest, they can't just swap out the camera. But I think we're going to hit a point to where, these are going to become they're going to be like bicycles. You get a good bicycle, it runs good. Maybe you want to put some new tires on it every now and then. Maybe you want to put, replace the grip tape on the handlebars, that sort of stuff. Routine maintenance. Maybe you don't want to buy an entirely new bicycle. So I think we're going to see, let's see, it's going to be something more pro that will replace the Inspire 1. It says, no, Apple likes large dollar... sorry, we're scrolling through here. Yeah, the Inspire 2 would have to be smaller. I mean, you can't... I mean, they can do what they want to do, but... I mean, we've already seen they've made the... what are they? The spreading wings and... something for... I mean, you could. Movies like Blair Witch Project and all of that, I mean, that wasn't high-end equipment for the most part. But there's certain things that you need where you need high-end equipment. And to get that camera equipment up there, it's going to take a larger drone. So I can understand that. But, why not put the... why not give the Mavic a modular camera option? New Matrice. I don't know. Have y'all heard anything about the Matrice? That thing kind of came out. I was like, what was that? And then it just went away. I don't know. Matrice. That made me laugh. I don't know. That was one of those things DJI put out, and I was like, what? Trump is going to make China make DJI in the United States, or tax it 60%. That's funny. So here's Sean Connery. He is, a lot of people are like, man, that cat's fake. He's not real. He's right here. And he's playing with a Karma grip. Nope, not for you. Yep, so, yeah, lots of good stuff coming. I mean, this is, but for this show, these two cameras, I want y'all to watch the video and check out the other videos online too and see, you know, what's the difference, the visual difference, the audio difference between Hero 5 Black, which this right here is the Hero 5 Black right out. I don't have the side door on it. You got to take that off to put it on the Karma grip. And then the Hero 5 Session. So you can see the Session is a lot smaller. And when you watch 4K 30 frames per second video that was side by side, I filmed it that far apart with the Hero 5 Black and the Hero 5 Session in 4K 30. I'm going to publish that video this evening. But you can see the video side by side, and I know what I thought about the video. Not just the video, but the audio too. It's interesting because historically the black model of GoPro has always been the cream of the crop. But to introduce 4K 30 in this smaller form factor, they both have waterproof housings. The Hero 5 Black has GPS. The Session does not. And the Hero 5 Black has, let's see, it's got a replaceable battery. The Session does not. You got to carry around a USB battery bank to keep it topped off. So, yeah, I mean, GoPro has really failed temporarily with the Karma drone recall. It could have been avoided. Maybe if they did some more quality control testing, maybe it could have. But I mean, to look at the product, to put it in your hands, I know few other people have had the opportunity because I think they may have only shipped up to 2,500 of these. And I was right in the front of the line. I mean, I was ready to get it. It seems to be well made. I mean, nothing feels cheap about it. But I'm just hoping that doesn't taint their reputation because I like the new cameras, even though a question that came up earlier, well, you know, how about the Hero 4, the video comparison with the Hero 4 to the Hero 5 Session or Hero 5 Black? Honestly, there's not a big difference. I mean, to look at it, you're topping out at 4K 30. Why they didn't bring in 4K 60 with this new range, I don't know. That's kind of disappointing. You know, maybe even an 8K. Yeah, well, I know we're not producing an 8K now, but if you had 8K and you could crop it, you know, you'd have more room to work with in post-production for your 4K videos. But I like both of these cameras, and I like how they're waterproof without having to put them in that plastic case like you did with the previous model. So from a travel size and travel weight perspective, these are greatly smaller. And regardless of which one you may go with, I mean, look, it's in the palm of my hand. So, final thought, an average camera that can take pictures 3 to 4 miles away offers 10 times the value of a great camera that can only fly 800 feet away. So much more access to great things. That's true. Let's see. Wasn't it delayed? When you're saying delayed, are you talking about the GoPro Karma or the GoPro cameras, the Hero 5 cameras? They were behind. I don't know if that was their intention or. No, I won't, because actually Karma, again, I don't like the fisheye, and the battery life could be better. The range could be better, even though I fly line of sight. To have a better, even though I don't use obstacle avoidance because I'm flying in wide open spaces where it's of no value to me, I feel that obstacle avoidance can make a drone be perceived as a safer drone, and I think that's good for political reasons. Karma does not have obstacle avoidance. I mean, I don't know. The way I look at the Karma bundle when I got it is that it's a mount that you get. You're going to use it that much? Probably not as much as a Mavic or a Phantom 4. But are you going to use it? Yeah, you can just put it all in a pack. To be frank, this is what I'm going to do, what I plan to do. As soon as I get my Mavic, I'm going to have a GoPro Hero 5 Black on a Karma grip. And then also in my pack, I'm going to have a DJI Mavic and a few extra batteries. So that way I can get the best of both worlds. And, you know, if it all came from the same manufacturer, that could be a plus because you're dealing with updating firmware with the same software and it's a more streamlined process. But really, if you're a nerd, if you're enough of a nerd to be an early adopter of drones and enjoy the hobby, you're probably enough of a nerd to figure out how to update firmware. If you can't figure that out, you may want to find a new hobby. So for that reason, I can't really say that there's an advantage to having all the firmware updates and all the equipment from one manufacturer. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Very well. Greg said it very well. He said, karma not good, but competition is always good. I think if we, in our minds, if we take, so this karma bundle, what they did with this backpack was cool. But if you take the karma out of the picture, and I would throw this on the floor, but then I would be destroying something on camera that's recalled and I got to send back. So if you take the karma out of the picture and you take the karma remote out of the picture, what are you really left with? You're left with the gimbal, the karma grip, and the GoPro HERO5 Black. You don't need a backpack that big for that. But you could carry a backpack, put a Mavic in it, put some extra batteries in it, your karma grip, and your GoPro. So from my perspective, you know, as I've mentioned previously, I'm not married to one brand or the other. I've used GoPro since GoPro Hero 2. It's been a very pleasant experience, and they've continued to get better. And I've used DJI Phantoms, and I was kind of a late adopter. I started with Phantom 1 when Phantom 2 was out. It's been a great experience. They've gotten more and more streamlined with the reliability, the firmware update procedures, the app, the control experience, the camera quality. I mean, everything's gotten so much better, and it's one of those things you got to decide for yourself. And I don't want to steer people one way or the other. Well, I may with the videos that I produce. You know, when you see it in action, you may develop an opinion based upon that video, and it may encourage you to pick up the same thing and go out and try it for yourself because, you know, my opinion's not right, your opinion's not right. I mean, everybody's opinion is, you know, it's subjective. So I like my personal opinion after dealing with this karma. Take the recall out of the picture. That was disappointing. My personal opinion is that, yeah, because I happened to purchase a drone that then became recalled, and they say they're going to give me a Hero 5 Black. It popped up in the app message. I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to take that Hero 5 Black, and I'm going to get, I got to send this back because this is part of the karma kit. But as soon as the karma grip goes on sale by itself, I'm going to get a karma grip, and I'm going to get a gimbal for my Hero 5 Black, and I'm going to be happy because I'm happy with the quality of video that this produces on the ground. When I get the Mavic, it's going to become my go-to drone unless the video quality severely disappoints, because I've heard it's a little bit less than Phantom 4 quality, but how much less? I mean, you're getting extreme portability, you're getting even better range, which obviously I fly line of sight to be safe and responsible. But I think the Mavic and then this gimbal on the ground can be the perfect pair. You know, to get that, you know, when you're going out to capture that footage, it looks like you're flying, you know, whether it's from the ground or in the sky. So for that reason, it's yeah, another good point. Oh, thanks for tuning into the show. It says it looks like that Karma designed in early 2015. It just took them a lot of time to get all their pieces together to bring it to full production. And I'll back you on that assumption as well, because my assumption is that what we may have seen. Now keep in mind, GoPro is a publicly traded company, which means that, you know, unlike some other companies, their actions may be directly impacted by Wall Street. So with that being the case, my assumption is that what we may have seen, what may have created the delay, may have been all the political uncertainty surrounding drones. Would they become banned in the United States? If so, can you imagine if you were a publicly traded company, you sunk all of this money into into producing all of these units, and then you couldn't sell them because they were banned. I mean, how bad would that be for your stock price? So, looking at it from that perspective, I can see why there may have been a delay. But with a delay, that delay should have provided them with more time to quality test. I mean, how can they put so much time into developing something that feels so nice that even the backpack is good quality? Everything seems very well made. How can they spend all that time and then have to recall every single unit that shipped during the first, 2,500 or so? I don't know. That blows my mind. And is it really that big of a problem? Or were there a couple of documented cases and it was blown out of proportion? And I don't think being blown out of proportion is necessarily a bad thing, because when you're dealing with safety, I mean, we don't want people that may be less than responsible having the ability to fly this. I mean, obviously, if you were in an empty location where if it fell to the ground, all it's going to do is destroy the drone, that's a different case. But if you've got somebody that doesn't really know anything about drones, maybe this is their first drone, and then they can fly something that's potentially hazardous, I can see why these were grounded as quickly as they were. So, there may have been some political involvement with the decision to really expedite this recall. And I think the GoPro firmware app update that completely bricked the Karma drone and the Karma controller further suggests that theory may be correct. So, yeah, I mean, good stuff. Will you get another Karma after the kinks are worked out? As I mentioned, I will definitely get the Karma grip. I love it. It works well. I can get really cool footage. It looks like I'm flying on the ground. The Karma drone, I probably won't, because it's something I wanted to try out. But when I tried the Karma, why do I want to use this, have to deal with fisheye, and just a less stable flight experience when I can use the Karma grip on the ground, but use a DJI Phantom 4 or a DJI Mavic in the sky? Now, that's not to say I won't try future revisions, because I think I look at the Karma, the current model Karma drone, as more of a proof of concept. It's like, yeah, we're serious. We want to enter the drone game. But I also look at it like, well, we waited to release. We're already behind even when we released. Maybe we need to take this recall as an opportunity and go back and redesign something that's smaller and more feature-rich. It's got a modular camera. We don't have that on a Phantom. We don't have that on a Mavic. That's a plus. I mean, it's got some things going for it. But today, having not yet received the DJI Mavic, I'll say with 100% certainty that Phantom 4 is my go-to drone. And I've got a lot more videos coming with the Phantom 4. Silky smooth experience. Super good video. Smooth. 4K. Very flat. Don't have the fisheye. I mean, it's great. Yeah, Sean Coonerty's had a long day. He said, man, this recall. He said, I get all these people calling about the recall. Sean Coonerty, what do you want to tell everybody about the GoPro Karma recall? He said, I don't know. He said, I bet Nick Woodman is very irritated as he sits on the back of his yacht, his mega yacht. I bet he is. That's funny. Yep. So, yeah, that's all Sean Coonerty had to say. And if you don't know who Nick Woodman is, he's the guy that created GoPros, the CEO. I mean, dude had a multi-million-dollar idea with GoPro cameras. And I wish I knew the ETA on my Mavic. I don't know what it is. I hope it's a matter of days instead of weeks. It's been very it's been hard to get a firm answer. It really has. But with that being said, everybody, I've got to I got to do a workout, and then I got to eat some pizza and some breadsticks. So I will be back in touch for another live show. Stay tuned later tonight when I publish the GoPro HERO5 session versus GoPro HERO5 Black. I want y'all to see the video quality side by side. It actually shocked me. I wasn't expecting what I saw. And obviously, stay tuned for DJI Mavic videos as soon as it arrives. And this Karma, I'm going to continue to use not the drone, but the Karma grip until I get my recall kit and ship it back in that. No reason to not use this and explore its capabilities until I have to ship it back. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Great questions. Sorry if I couldn't get to every one of them, but we will have more live shows. Subscribe, youtube.com/IrixGuy. Follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/IrixGuy. Instagram, Pinterest. What's the other one? Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, and obviously YouTube. And check out 400orbelow.com. It's my hub for everything drone. Yep, actually I do use Final Cut Pro 10, and in a future live show, if we want to talk about 4K video editing workflow using Final Cut Pro 10, as well as the tools that I use once it's been edited to export and then publish to YouTube, we can talk through that entire workflow. It'll be some cool stuff. But thanks everyone. Sorry so short. 41 minutes in. I would typically go a little bit longer, but I gotta get on the treadmill, eat some pizza, eat some breadsticks, and publish more videos later this evening. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.